Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. We are here in the new garden space, continuing our work on planting out a garden from scratch. So we started by figuring out where to put the garden, where we have the most sunlight here on the property, and soil type. We talked about all those things, how to select our spot. We cut down a few trees to get us some more sunlight here. We tilled up this whole patch of space that we're going to be planting in. We installed a few different styles of raised beds. We filled those raised beds with the ultimate soil mix, the best possible soil you can get to grow things in. And today we're going to be planting out some of the traditional garden space. So not raised beds, just planting in the ground using a couple different methods. So we're going to use some hills, some rows, and also some different a different style of trellis. So an easy, cheap, well, free really style of trellis. So I'll kind of show you what we have here, and then we will get started putting things together. We got the solar generator out today, and summer enjoying the sunshine. So we have our garden space here. It's getting pretty good sunlight. So the front half of this gets the longer hours of sunlight, and so we're going to keep that in mind when we're planting. So it's evening now, and you can see it's shaded in the back. But for the majority of the day, that gets full sun. So the back spot here that does get less sunlight, we'll plant some crops that do better in that environment, some cucumbers and some peas and other things like that. They do better with less sunshine and a little bit cooler temperatures. And then out in the front here, we'll plant our hot weather stuff. So tomatoes, peppers, and we may even throw in some melons and pumpkins and things like that, and just let them kind of go out around the yard here. That's what we're gonna do. We're also gonna get some wood chips put in here, make this look a little nicer, and we've got some trellises to build. So for any vining type crops, so you've got pole beans, would be a common one, all your peas, those are another very common and easy to grow, something I recommend in any beginner garden. And then also things like cucumbers, any kind of cucumbers, whether they're pickling cucumbers or your straight eights or other kind of regular table cucumbers. They're all going to require some kind of trellis. You want to get those things up off the ground. They're going to grow better that way, produce more for you, and less issues with powdery mildews and other types of things like that. So what I have found to be the easiest and least expensive way to trellis plants is sticks. So I was out cutting down the trees to make space for the garden, and I saved some of the sticks and branches and things like that from that. So I've got a bunch of different sizes here. This probably won't be enough, but this will get me started. And then I may use some of the smaller pieces to go in between. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a teepee out of these sticks here. Let's drag some sticks over to this garden and get started. So there's a lot of different ways to support tomatoes and peppers. This is kind of a bush variety. It's called a window box Roma. So these can interlock together and actually create a circle or a hoop around that. And so as these grow up, we'll kind of train it a little bit to just get over here, and then it'll hang off the edge, and we'll get a lot of the fruit to just kind of be supported off the ground that way. So again, this is kind of a bush variety, so it's not going to grow that tall. Now for the taller tomato plants, you can get these. Now these were purchased on Amazon, so they come in short sections that actually connect together, so you can make them taller. So we'll use 2 of these per, and you just make a triangle out of them. The side supports connect together like this. Make kind of a ladder out of it, and so we'll train this to go over these as it goes up. And these kits also come with a bunch of little zip tie or twisty ties, and so you can use this to support the plants as well. You can also use these just as a single support, stick it in the ground and have your tomato plant grow up the edge of it, and then use your twisty ties to support it along the way. So that is all of our hotter weather stuff, the full sun crop. So all of our peppers, I've got a whole bunch of different bell peppers in here. We've got the viney type stuff that we'll let just kind of roll across the ground. That's cantaloupes and pumpkins down at the other end there. And so we'll let those, we'll kind of train them along the edges and things like that. And then all of our tomatoes in a row here with all the supports put up for them. So the peppers I will not support yet, but what I do is I'll do a different kind of support here. I'm not going to support these individually. It gets expensive trying to get supports for all those, and you really can't stake these with just a single stake. The pepper plants I like to create a cage for. So what I'll do instead is I'm actually going to put some sticks in the ground on an angle at both ends here. I'll run some string all the way down the row on each side, and I'll put a couple supports along the way, usually just with sticks. And then that will create 2 tiers of string that goes down. So we'll have a low one and then a high one on both sides, and that'll create kind of a little basket or a little cage for the pepper plants. So that'll keep them from falling this way, and then they'll kind of grow into each other this way, and the peppers will kind of hang over that line. All of our raised beds is all for root crops and strawberries. So I've got some strawberries there, and then all the potatoes we planted in here. There'll be aisles in between, so the rest of this will just be blank. And back here, we will next plant all of our peas and cucumbers that will vine up on these trellises. We've got some broccoli we'll sprinkle in here somewhere, and then we'll do some sunflowers and some corn in little patches along the edges of the garden area. And so those won't block any sunlight from anything else, and they'll stay out of the way and create kind of a border around the edge here. Well, there is the planted or completed garden. Won't do too much more in here this year besides maybe replant some crops halfway through the year, things like that. But each year the plan is to add on. You just keep adding on more space and build more raised beds every year, and so that's what we have done in the past. We've got quite a bit of sun still up this way, so we could kind of angle the back side of it over and make another extension out that way. And there's also quite a bit of sun on this side, so we could probably do the same thing, angle right back there in front of the solar generator out on this hill, and kind of angle up along the road here. So this is the farm road will always kind of stay in front of the garden space here, so we can't come too much farther this way, but we can get quite a bit more grow space there. So we'll do another video once I get the rest of the supports finished for the pepper plants and things like that. So I'll probably do a video on all the different kinds of plant supports that we have done that have worked really well in the past. Different kinds of trellises. We've tried tons of different kinds of trellises, tons of different kinds of supports for pepper plants and cucumbers and peas and tomatoes and all that kind of stuff. So we'll go through a whole video on just those things. But today we have completely planted everything in the garden. So we have peas planted around one of our teepees back there. We have pole beans planted around the other. We've got potatoes and strawberries in all the raised beds. We've got our peppers and tomatoes in the traditional garden space here, as well as some pumpkins and melons. We've also got some sweet corn planted along the back and side edges. I've got some sunflowers planted in various places around through here, and we've got some broccoli back there in the center back. So we've got a combination of raised beds and traditional gardening here, and this will grow us a ton of food, but never enough. We always need more space. Gardens, you'd be surprised if you were to try to grow every bit of all of the vegetables that you would eat for the entire year. You would need way more space than this, and so this is a continuing project that will need to expand quite a bit. So we'll take you guys along for more gardening stuff, so stay tuned for those kinds of things. Don't forget to hit thumbs up today on the video. Of course, subscribe if this is your first time here, and as always guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.